when they're meeting at the sacrificial centers of the world. Now that you've got the earthquakes happening, and don't forget one of the biggest volcanoes in the world is Popo in the vicinity of Mexico City, I think the thing that people really have got to get through their head now is that they have to take an active role. You and I have taught them how to fish, but we can't put the fishing reel in their hand and point them to the water hole of knowledge. They've got to act. They have got to prepare. And, Alex, this esoteric nature of it is the spirit behind all of it. Listen, just as that represents, Mexico City represents the blood sacrifice capital of the world, the Luciferians were sending a signal that out of the blood sacrifice capital city of the world would go the ultimate Luciferian sacrifice of I don't know how many dead, but trust me, 50 million's on the light side. You and I
stay there. Steve Quayle, I want to open the phones up for quick questions from Nathan, Leo, Bill, Dominic, JD, Nicolette, Sherry, Dave, Carter, George, Nathan, Morty. We're going to take a lot of calls in the next segment. Just quick questions or comments from all of them. And then get your take on it. We'll also put up on screen your website for folks as well. But, Steve, look, we know they use this type of hype to train everybody to take the vaccines, to take the Tamiflu, to take the drugs. The government's your friend. It gives you a little mask. But they leave our borders wide open while Europe is screening Americans and Mexicans that fly in. They're banning our food imports to Germany and Russia and England and others. I mean, if there's not something to this, it's a crime that they're hyping it up. And then we've got all the news of cover-ups of how many have really died. And then you look at this clearly engineered virus. The doctors we've had on have said clearly. I mean, they usually talk about, bird flu mixing with human. Some of the variants having evidence of this. And then they say that the maker of the vaccine that the UN has chosen is Baxter, the company we've been railing against, who have told 18 sub-companies in Europe to mix live bird flu with regular vaccine. Thank God they got caught. But then some unnamed companies in mainstream news, London Telegraph, that was paying city workers to give homeless shots and paying them, and the homeless were dying of bird flu. In fact, put that up on screen about the homeless dying of bird flu. I want people to see these mainstream articles who don't believe us. I mean, something stinks here, Steve. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of crazy stuff. I don't know what's coming out of this, but definitely this has got New World Order fingerprints all over it.
Well, absolutely, and for those of you, the people that are biblically inclined, this is the pestilence. This is one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and I think that people need to understand this. We're being isolated. Alex, I said 5 years ago, the time will come when no trains will run, no planes will fly, no cars, no vehicles, etc. America will become completely isolated. It will be isolated in that we will be cut off. We will be considered the pariah nation of the world. Now, let's get back to Mexico really quick, because I think this is what's going to take down the economy, okay? Our economy, not just Mexico's economy. My sources on the ground in that area are claiming 2,000 dead. 2,000 dead. Now, first of all, I believe nothing that comes out of officialdom. I believe that the CDC is only there to control how should I say this, disseminate the information. I believe that this is if you will, imagine America as the test tube. This is the test case. And so over the years, when you and I would talk about the depopulation of the world, 90%, we got, all the tinfoil hat boys to get together on boards and hoist a few scotches to us. But now, this is something that even strikes the boldest skeptic, because the smallest virus, the smallest bug, the question is, are they testing first on a select, confined population, i.e. Mexicans, Hispanics, Latinos, or is this just the fear to make everyone run to the answer, the Hegelian dialectic, by injection, and take the vaccination? I am convinced the vaccination is the execution dose. If you deny or decline to take the vaccination, that's when the camps come in. That's when the martial law comes in, Alex.
Oh, my God. Why didn't I see this? Are you? Of course. Baxter's caught breeding up millions of dosages of vaccine with live bird flu that the scientists in the Czech Republic said would be a perfect way to create a master airborne mutagen with a 90% kill rate with that particular version of bird flu when you can ingest it. If you actually get it, you're in deep trouble. and then they're making all these vaccines. The news won't say where all the vaccine stock went. And then Baxter is chosen out of hundreds of major companies to be the one to make the vaccine for this flu. Oh, man.
This is so insipidly wicked. This is so horrific. I honestly believe, Alex, and I make no bones about this. By the way, my guesstimate on time, based on what I'm sensing in my gut, is from about Thursday on, things are going to turn totally bad. You know, I caught nothing but crap for putting up the orange alert. People were saying, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And I stand by that alert. I did not put up that alert without a lot of intercessors praying. I sought the Lord. I said, God, I cannot afford to be wrong on this one, not for my sake, but for your people's sake. Now, here's the deal. The situation that's going on right now is absolutely so diabolically wicked that the simple Western mind of well-meaning Americans cannot even embrace the thought of what you just had as a revelation. They cannot embrace it. Therefore, because they reject the knowledge, or, you know, the mainstream will call you and I the tinfoil boys or whatever, you know, the bottom line in all this, and I keep saying that, Alex, cutting to the chase, this is the initiating action. What comes from this point is the death. And
well,
that is
take 76. The swine flu wasn't killing anybody. The President Ford orders the whole public to take it. People start taking it and dying in mass, and so they had to pull back. So this has happened before. Man, there's a lot of media fear-mongering going on. We'll break that down when we get back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
More than 700 chemicals have been found in our drinking water. And did you know that you have greater exposure to these chemicals while taking hot showers than when drinking the water? That's because many chemicals are inhaled when they evaporate and others are absorbed into the skin. The KDF Dual Media Shower Filter works with both hot and cold water, and it's designed to reduce chlorine, lead, mercury, and iron, and it inhibits the growth of bacteria, mold, algae, and fungus. The KDF Dual Media Shower Filter typically lasts 10,000 gallons, or 1 year, whichever comes first. Hospitals, restaurants, and water treatment facilities use this media to reduce chlorine, iron, heavy metals, and bacteria. What about you? Order your KDF shower filter normally, $49 for our special price of only $39.99 with free shipping. Call the Berkey Guy and order now by calling 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or simply click on the banner at gcnlive.com to order online now.
You don't have to be in the military to enjoy military surplus savings. Right now at mainmilitary.com, you'll find savings on the top must-have military supplies. M10 gas masks for $12 or 3 for $30. Gas mask hoods $4 or 3 for $10. Mask filters $6 or 3 for $15. Save big on British chemical suits, only $12. Israeli gas masks $20. Trigger finger gloves $5 a pair or $36 a dozen. Snowshoe binding for $8 or $48 a dozen, and so much more. Even hard-to-find surplus items, all at surplus prices. Preparing the whole family has never been so affordable at mainmilitary.com. Mainmilitary.com, one of the last surviving true surplus stores in the country. Shop now at MAINE military.com or call 877-608-0179. That's 877-608-0179 today.
right, your calls are coming up with our guest Steve Quayle to the end of the hour, end of the show, and then it starts back over with Dr. Tim Penny from Mexico and Dr. Deagle popping in, Paul Watson from England. You know, I just want to be clear here. State Department Memorandum 200 saying they got to sterilize and reduce the population by half. Biological diversity assessment by the UN 1996 and others saying they want to get rid of 80% of us. The official statements, Dr. Eric Pianka, I just use him because it made national news. Most people have heard about him. So it was big news for a few weeks. Said, you know, he wants 90% of us to die with an airborne Ebola. And then he can't wait for everybody to die, and he wants it to be basically engineered. And the FBI even went and visited him. We called for that. When you go to Pianka's site at UT, I haven't checked this in about a year. Google Dr. Eric Pianka UT, and go. It'll be EDU. It'll be University of Texas site. It's him in Druid robes saying he's a Druid and that he loves Lucifer. This is on the University of Texas site. Now, this guy who is a Druid, goes to class as a Druid, big beard, biology.